Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Crazy wind.
Oh
my gosh.
Holy cow. The wind is so bad out there.
We almost lost our little nugget Milo.
Oh my gosh, it was just blowing all over the place.
Gosh.
I had to run out there. Tricia was trying to take him for a walk, and they were getting blown all over the yard out there.
I know.
But hang on.
Yeah, maybe you might want to fix your hair a little bit. Well, anyways, say bye, Milo.
Okay. All right, Beck. First thing, wash hands.
Wash hands.
All right. Get some soap on it and lather it up. 20 seconds. 17, 16. Oh, I need a little bit warm. My hands are cold. It's cold out there.
Yes, it is.
There you go. All right. So we have washed, well, I've washed my hands. Tricia's getting ready to wash hers. So if you guys are just joining us for the first time today, welcome. If you are just perusing around, you find our channel, go ahead and please go down to the subscribe button and click on subscribe.
Please do.
We're happy to have you aboard. Yesterday was the first day for our foodie retreat that we had.
Today's day 2.
And it's a weekend. It's Sunday. Saturday was a good day. We made some hummus.
We did. Very yummy hummus.
Exactly. And as promised, we are actually going to be doing today a Navajo flatbread. And it's extremely simple.
It is.
If you don't have the ingredients there, I'm sorry. It's just basically, it's going to be flour, water, and baking powder.
And salt and oil.
Salt and oil.
That's about it. That's it.
So oil's not really, it is an ingredient,
Well,
but you know what I mean.
It is, and it kind of is. You kind of have to cook it in there.
Exactly.
But anyway.
So we're going to start it off. So let's go ahead. And the first thing that we need, now, unfortunately, if you are gluten-free, this is probably not going to be the best recipe for you because, we're using all-purpose flour.
Right.
But for those of us who are stuck inside presently dealing with the quarantine, it's going to be excellent for us to, you can make it, you can bake it, well, not bake it, well, cook it on the stove.
Cook it.
And then freeze it.
Right. You can make it ahead of time and you can freeze it for later. So you can make as big of a batch as you want, keep some out to eat, and then freeze the rest for a later date. So that's the nice part of this. It's easy to make, 5 ingredients, and you can freeze it.
I keep saying 4, but that's just,
Well, 5 including the oil because you do need the oil to cook it in.
So the first thing we need is flour.
No,
I know. It's the oink.
The oink canister has the flour in it.
So could you get me, we're going to need, since this, I already tried this.
It doesn't fit, I know. So what do we need?
4 half cups. So a total of 2 cups of all-purpose flour.
Yes, I'm doing the old school knife swipe. Learned that in home ec. The same class I learned how to make a coffee cake that was too salty.
And it is it's extremely important that when you're doing some recipes like baking, make sure you're measuring things exactly like the recipe says. There's certain things you can tweak, but
baking is not one of those things. It's an exact science, or you will not get things to turn out exactly how you want them to. And I know that firsthand.
How many are you at?
That's 4 right
That's
there.
4. Okay. I was wondering if I had messed you up and.
No, I'm a mom. I can multitask. Are you kidding me? I have 3 kids. And I teach, which that's a lot more kids to manage at one time.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So we've done our flour. The next thing that we need to do is 1 1/4. Actually, no, we'll get the 1 1/4 cups water, but a tablespoon of baking powder. And that's the nice thing about the baking powder is you can use, it has its own little built-in, just go ahead and right off there. So got 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So.
No, I like to say easy cheesy, mac and cheesy.
But then you say cheesy twice. easy peasy mac and cheesy. There you go.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so honey, a teaspoon of salt.
All right. Again, it's still our new salt brand.
No salt.
So how much?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. Okay. Triple check.
We're
Nope,
not going to
that's
use
half.
a full teaspoon just because of
So-
the fact that potassium's.
You want half a teaspoon?
Yeah, like half of it.
All right. See, I get a little nervous with salt. You should actually know this from my story. Salt is,
That's a story that since some of you may have missed it, go back to yesterday's episode, day number 1, and you can find her fun.
Yes, you can
Mishap
find the
of
fun
salt.
story about salt in home ec class or life skills class is what they call it now. But back in our day, it was home ec.
Now we want to add in 2 teaspoons of oil. It's canola oil. Now, if anything, the canola oil is gluten-free. Unfortunately, the flour is not gluten-free. Oh, a little bit over. That's all right. I'll just short this one up. There we go. 2.
There you go.
So you've got in there, you've got your no salt, you've got your canola oil, you've got your flour. Yeah.
And do we need
And a little bunch of in the salt, a little tiny hard piece. So I got that out of there.
So do we need water now?
And we need water, and we need 1 1/4 cups of water.
All right, this is lukewarm.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is Tricia stirs it in. Oh, there's a spoon right in front of me. Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, as you can see, I'm going to start stirring everything together. Go ahead and start pouring it in. Whoop. If you want to, just go ahead and lift the computer up and we can shine it in there a little bit and they can see. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want, because Tricia's put in 1 cup so far, so we have a 1/4 cup that we can start drizzling in there. Now what's going to happen is you're going to want to get it to almost like a tacky pizza dough consistency. So okay, go ahead and slowly start drizzling it in there. All right. Now as it starts to come together, as you can hear, Milo's in the back. You know, he's checking outside the window. He's making sure that no one's breaking quarantine and wandering around in the roads, even though
Or being blown away by the wind.
exactly.
Today.
Even though you can go outside if you want to go walking or for a bike ride or running. I need some more water, please. Okay, and
A little bit left. I think you might.
what I'm going to do is when it gets to the right point, I'm going to start using my hand, which is washed. And you're going to want to knead this. This a little extra off there. And if you want it to not stick so much on your fingers, you can put a little bit of extra flour on your fingers. I did not do that, but that is absolutely fine. If you could, Tricia, could you drop a few more little bits of flour in there for me?
Flour, sure.
A little bit more, just because it's extremely, so not quite pizza dough consistency, but it's just a little bit more tacky. Okay.
I use a teaspoon.
Teaspoon. And it's going to vary depending on how much water you add in there.
And I didn't use all of the 1/4 of a cup. There's enough water covering the bottom of this 1/4 cup left that I didn't use.
Okay, can you put a little bit, just sprinkle a
Sprinkle
little
it?
bit on there.
Okay.
That's just for, get some on my hand. Now the nice thing for me is I'm used to getting flour on my hands all the time because of working at the Milford House restaurant. So we do tons and tons of pizzas and calzones and all kinds of stuff that requires flour. So I come home and I have got flour from head to toe normally.
Yes.
Hey, Shirley's on.
Hi, Shirley.
And thank you very much to Shirley. She's actually the one who gave us the recipe for doing this, which is,
Yes.
I'm super excited because.
Our first time making it.
Exactly. So once you get it to, that consistency that you want, what you're going to want to do is normally use a clean bowl.
Which I can get one out.
If you want to get a small one, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
And you're going to want
Spray
to spray the inside of that. Put a little bit of spray.
We have spray olive oil, so there we go.
You're going to plop that in there, and you're going to set that aside, and that takes about 30 minutes to an hour for you to go ahead and have that set aside.
So cover it with a towel. Keep things off of it. Animals out of it. People out of it.
Hope they're not getting into it.
I would hope not.
They'll get in trouble. All right, so once your hands are washed, what we did is we actually prepared one ahead of time that is all ready to go.
So this is the one we prepped ahead of time.
And as you can see, there's your dough right there. Now, if you're expecting it to double in size, it's not going to because it doesn't have any of the yeast in there that it's not. It is normal bread, but your other breads have in it. So it's not going to double in size. But what I'm going to have Tricia do is, can you put some flour down on the board for me?
Sure.
I'm just going to knead this just a little bit more. Yeah, how I like it. Lots of flour. So then I get the handy dandy, lovely gift that my beautiful fiance got me for Christmas. There we go, my bench scraper. So you're going to want to divide this into 6 pieces. There we go. So you got 6 pieces. There we go. Set those aside. Just roll them into little balls. There we go. Tip down. There you go. You can see them. Go. It's nice to have the flour. So after you have those all cut and ready to go, what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to flatten these out to a very, very thin round. And I'm going to use some parchment paper for this, just so that we can get it flattened out so it's not sticking on everything, and it's not sticking to the, there we go. Tricia gets to do the fun part. She gets to cook it in the pan when it's all rolled out. So you're going to want to get it almost like a loaf look. It doesn't have to be exact because, hey, you're going to be putting it in your belly. So I'm going to put this down a little bit more. I don't normally use a rolling pin at work. I use my hands. And Tricia has a nickname for my hands too. I figured I'd bring it up, just because she always says that when we're looking at footage, she sits there and she says, "Oh, look at your Frankenstein hands." So, anyways, I call them my meat mallets. Good at pounding food. So get this nice and flattened down. I'm going to use my hand a little bit. Maybe that'll get flatter than the rolling pin. Use my Frankenstein hands. Love. So what Tricia can do right now is, if you want to put some oil in the pan, we can get the pan
So
going.
how much canola oil are we going to add to the pan?
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. All right, we're going to be using a cast iron skillet and putting the oil in there.
And
this particular skillet so this is 10 and a half, 10 and a half inch iron skillet. And Mark, do we want to cook one of these at a time or?
One at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said 2 tablespoons, right?
A tablespoon.
1 tablespoon.
Yep. Oh man, get flour in my nose. All right, wash my hands again. And I'll get the pan second. Bring this over this way. There we go. Oh, that works nice.
So I'm just moving the oil around the bottom of the pan. Trying to make sure that we coat most of it. And actually, I think I'm going to take our brush and I'm just going to move it around.
It's okay, my.
And it says to heat the oil first, just before it starts to smoke. So I'm not exactly sure what the smoking point of canola oil is. That would probably be something I would need to research before you place your bread inside.
Well, it's you're gonna let it come up. Actually, you know what? I can tell you what the smoking point is.
Well, that would be good to know. So being that this is an old set of cast iron, there's no rubber handle or anything like that on there. So that's
400 degrees.
400 degrees. So I'm going to be using this to hold the handle of the pan so I don't burn myself.
Just a tip too, you can keep an eye on it. And if it starts to smoke slightly, then you're good. You know, you might want to turn down just a little bit. You just don't want to get it to the point where it's smoking, because then it means it's too hot and you're going to end up burning something.
Yeah, yourself or your food or both, and that would not be very fun.
Nope. So I've got one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this over here.
So how long do I need to cook it on each side? Does
you
it
cook it to the point that starts getting brown marks on it?
Around the edges?
On it, the whole thing. So it can start browning.
Do I need to flip?
Yes.
Is it going to brown right through?
You're gonna want to flip it.
Okay. So sort of like a pancake.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like I said, this is our first time making it, so it should be interesting to see what it looks like in the pan.
I'm over here flattening out the other ones, just so you guys know.
And what I could do with our food thermometer is I
wouldn't bother with that, honey.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. So the oil is starting to move around in the pan, and it's making little patterns in there as it heats up, and I hear it.
Yes. And one way to do it, to test the oil, to see if it's hot, is you put a drop of water on it. There we go.
Okay.
So we are good.
I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I'm a little worried it's going to splash at me. All right, here goes it. In goes the bread. And it's frying up like you would expect a pancake or anything else that you're cooking. And it's starting to form bubbles on the top. Can you show them what it looks like? See, it's starting to form bubbles.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out, we have this right here.
Yes.
And
Our
just to
oil
make sure
catcher.
that it doesn't catch all the oil all over the place. So you want to check on the bottom of that real quick. Yep, you're going to want
Yep.
to
It's
check
gold.
the bottom.
It's just golden right now.
Let's see how does it look. I'll give it just another
And maybe you can bring it over to
seconds.
show them what
Yep.
it looks like when we peek at it.
So this is really cool looking.
So we have lots of bubbles forming, and then if you check at the bottom, it's starting to get golden brown.
It's almost there. So we'll just give it another 30 seconds. Turn it up just a little bit more. Flatten out this last one.
Okay, I'm gonna peek again. What do you think, hon?
Just a couple more seconds. I don't know how you guys are. I like when I'm having something along these lines, like a pita bread, which I love my pita breads, and this reminds me a lot of it. Oh, that looks so good. You want to flatten it down so you can get the bubbles
nice,
down? Go ahead and
nice
flatten
and
it
golden.
down. There you go. So that way, flatten it down, get those bubbles down a little bit, get some of the air out of there so that you can actually cook it all the way around. Oh, that looks good.
It does. And I'll be excited to try this with our hummus.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I guess you could use this for any kind of dip. It could be if you have like a spinach dip.
Oh, you could use it if you
hummus.
wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, you can make sandwich with it, all sorts of stuff.
And we'll do one more after this one's done.
Oh boy, look at this side.
I know.
See all the pretty bubbles and how they
probably
round
a little
up
bit
nicely?
more.
Okay.
I'll have that one. You can.
Well,
have
I'm just saying, I'm feeling the consistency of it. You tell me what you think.
Feels fine.
I think it's cooked.
Well, I mean, I just want mine a little bit darker.
Now, are you going to want to put this on paper towel to soak up any of the extra oil?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm putting some paper towel down on a plate.
Hi, Jen. Hummus video. What are you? Oh, Jen, we are making Navajo flatbread. See, there we go.
This is coming out of the oven, or the pan now. I'm going to put it on paper towel.
Okay. We got
now,
one
do I
more.
need to add more oil? For the second one, maybe?
If you feel you need to, you can add. Now you might want to turn it down just a little bit because it's going to start.
Yeah, I'm going to add, before you do that, I want to add just a little more oil.
And you want to be careful when you're adding oil to a hot pan also.
Oh, yes.
Just because of the fact that it's going to cool down the surface a little bit, and you're going to have to wait for it to come back up. So I wouldn't add a full tablespoon.
No, I'm
Just
only
enough.
adding about a half.
Oh, it looks good. It's hot. And just a quick reminder, we are using, cast iron. When you take care of your cast iron, make sure you take care of it well. Do not wash it with soap and water.
All right, you ready to add another one?
Yep.
All right.
This one's for you.
Second Navajo bread.
There we go.
Here we go. And here it's sizzling. And watch, in just a minute, you're going to see it puff little bubbles up, which is kind of fun to watch.
There, I see them coming up. They're starting to puff.
They're starting to come up now, yep.
That looks so good.
It does.
Right.
That's the finished product.
Let's up and show it to them. I don't care if you touch it. Yeah, it's fine.
Still kind of warm. That's good.
Okay. Now, like we were saying, you can take these once they're done, and you can go ahead and you can put them into the freezer and freeze them and have them for a later day.
Yep, just put them in a Ziploc baggie, freezer bag, and pull them out when you're ready. So the recipe that we made today, we made 6, right?
This makes 6.
Yeah, so you could easily double this, triple this.
Yes.
And make a bunch ahead of time, eat some now, freeze some later, take them out.
Or if you wanted to even make them smaller into, just 1 or 2 bite size, you could go ahead and do that as well. There's no problem doing that. It just depends on what you want. And mine has a nice fancy shape. Tricia's right here looks like a boot. Has a little bit of a boot shape.
No mitten like the state. We'll have to make a mitten.
Your
next one, you should make a mitten.
Well,
I mean, the boot could be turned to look like sort of like the Upper Peninsula.
if you flipped it up, flipped it the other way. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to flip mine now.
Okay, go ahead. Let's show them the Upper Peninsula.
Well, it's sitting wrong.
There we go. There's the Upper Peninsula. Whoops.
There we go.
Or you could turn it the other way so that the other corner up there. There's Copper Harbor.
Haba haba.
It's right up in there. So, here we go. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
And it does. She says it looks like a minute. Well, like a mitten. But...
Thank you, Jen. See, she's looking out for me.
Okay, sure. Sounds good. So anyways.
All right. Almost probably another minute on this side, and then we should be good.
I'd give it, no. If you keep it there a minute, it might burn it. I'd say 25.37 seconds.
All right.
To be exact.
Whatever.
So.
All right. So my second one is coming out now. And I'm going to rest on our paper cup.
Yep, I'm going to move this out of the way really quick. So what I'm going to do is grab out the hummus. You know, for those of you who saw the video yesterday and joined us live, you got to see us make it. But like I said, you can go back and check it out. Now what we have here is the hummus we made yesterday. We had it in a different bowl.
Because it's greatly depleted, if you can't tell.
We had a little bit of taste.
Just a little bit.
And then, since I love my darling so very much, I made a very special hummus.
Aww.
And put it in the other bowl, the bowl that the original was in. And I'm going to show you guys this. Now, here's the fun part. I used 2 ingredients in it that Tricia doesn't know about. And we're actually going to see if Tricia can guess what those ingredients are.
All right. Well, this is the first one. It's probably the most cool piece of bread. They're still pretty warm.
It's nice.
Oh, here, I'll split that with you.
Thank you. I got a thumb.
Warm.
It is nice. So
I got a boot. This is the boot right here.
Hey, babe, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's really good. It's soft and billowy on the inside and a little bit of a crunch on the outside, not much.
And you can actually, with the canola oil, you can actually get a little taste of the canola oil on there, which is nice because
it's kind of like a pita, you know, the center is open.
I keep saying pitas.
If it cooled down, you could, you know, make like a chicken salad or tuna salad or veggie pocket and eat it that way. All right. So I have to tell you the two
ingredients that I put in.
That differs from my recipe from the other day.
First, I want to try yesterday's hummus.
All right.
There you go. Now it's had overnight to
marinate
sit and get those flavors going around in it.
Very good. All right.
Very garlicky. I love the garlic in it.
Oh yeah, and you can taste the lemon in it. It's very fresh.
So here we go.
All right.
I'll let you go ahead. You can taste it on the bread, the Navajo bread, or you can taste it straight up first, just to let me know what you think's in there. We'll see if she figures out. Bless you.
I have a tickle in my nose. All right.
Uh-oh.
No, it's my allergies.
Oh, yes.
All right. It's springtime. It's pollen. All right. Let's see if I can guess what's in here.
They're subtle. They're subtle. I didn't want to go overboard.
Is there peanut butter in there?
There is peanut butter in there.
I didn't get the peanut butter until just now.
Yep, I substituted peanut butter in this particular one.
There's something else in there.
Yep, there's something else in there. Instead of putting your tahini in there, I substitute peanut butter.
And you said there was a second thing in here?
Yeah. It's subtle. I didn't want to overdo it because if you put too much, it will overdo it. And it's not rosemary.
No. Is it basil?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I know these flavors, but the basil and the peanut butter together are surprisingly good, but they're different So
Yes.
I'm like, that's what was throwing me off.
So,
It has a little bit of a sweet,
mm-hmm.
not sweet. I guess it's just I'm getting the peanut butter,
Mm-hmm.
and you use the all natural peanut butter that's not real sugary. Okay, yeah. If you use like a Jif or
That's
a
gonna be too
commercial
strong.
peanut butter that has a lot of sugar in it, it would make it almost like a dessert hummus, which would it would be good. It's just different.
Yes, I said we know it's backwards, but it is Crazy Richard's 100% peanuts creamy peanut butter. And we talked about this yesterday. How
You
it's
have
just
to mix it up before you use it, right?
well, there's a little bit of oil on the top, and I'll shake it, and that generally will. Or else take a spoon and you dig it in there and you stir it up, and then you take a big spoonful of so good.
Yeah, he eats it by the spoonful. It's his jar only. But anyways, it's.
But I shared it.
No, those are really good.
Hummus.
No, that's really good. It's surprising that I just didn't expect the basil and the peanut butter together. It sounds weird, but it's actually good. It works.
And I love mixing different things together.
Like I said in our other episodes, he's the king of flavor. He's just got skills.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
So anyways, we have some exciting live shows coming up, and we will post about those in the near future, very, very near future. And for those of you who have friends out there who are not a subscriber yet, we have a little raffle going on. Yeah. So if you want to win a $25 gift card to the restaurant that I work at, the Milford House and Bar and Grill, or a $25 Amazon gift card, just by being a subscriber, you are entered into that raffle. So get all your friends to subscribe, because when you get them to subscribe and you let us know, you can get your name in there twice. So if you get 4 friends, your name goes in there 8 times.
Right. Plus, we have some good questions too. They want to know if you're still doing a cookbook.
Yes, we are.
And what's that special ingredient? Your meat mallets?
My meat mallets are the special ingredients.
Yeah, exactly.
So once again, thank you very much, guys, for coming out and joining us for a very fun live show. The next live show, should we give them a little hint?
No, I think we should keep them guessing. Sure, we can give them a hint.
A little hint. Well, so it's funny because both of us came up with these 2 separate ideas, and we're kind of combining them and kind of weaving them together with a third idea. So if you guys like cocktails or
movie snacks
or movies, it's going to be the one that you're going to want to join us. It's going to be an evening live show, and we're going to be talking a little bit about movies, a little bit about food, and giving you guys some tips and tricks. Yeah. So come back and join us once again on Make My Food Awesome.
You could use a cocktail right now.
Jen,
yes. Well, let's see.
Trust me, there's a lot of people having cocktails right now, and they're saying that the booze are selling out. So anyways, thank you very much, guys, and we will see you guys once again on Make My Food Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.